Hi everyone, it's Jessica from Labrujajessica, and today I'm going to be doing a reading on Jaryd. Is it Atadero? Atadero. I'm so sorry. I do not know how to pronounce the last name. So I'm going into this completely blind. Like I said, I know like maybe just one or two things, but the rest I know nothing about this. I saw something interesting and I said, well, let me see if I can, freshen up on my skills. And it's been such a long time since I've done these kind of readings. So let's see what happens. All right. So today I'm going to be using the Witch's Tarot, but I will be, jumping from different tarot decks if I feel like I'm not getting enough information. I will also be using my own personal deck that I've created for these special circumstances. It is called If Victims Could Speak. And this is listed on my Etsy shop for those of you who are interested, okay? And like I said, this is geared towards these types of cases. So for those of you who are into these types of readings, or just like watching this stuff, and you have somebody who does these kind of readings, this would be a pretty cool gift. Now it is a hefty stack of cards. I understand that part, but I needed to get out as much as I could for the spirits in terms of them, being able to communicate. And believe it or not, I am missing just a few more things. If, you're like, damn, didn't you get it covered here? Like, no, I didn't. And sorry for the way that I sound. I am still under the weather, okay? Alrighty, let's go ahead and start shuffling. I'm like, already my heart is racing and I don't even know why. I feel like a heaviness. Let's see where this reading takes us. I want to make sure. Okay, yeah. Alrighty. All right, Spirit, what can you tell me about Jaryd? I'm just going to say Jaryd, the little boy that got lost in the woods. What can you tell me? And bear with me. Wow, already the devil came out, huh? Scared, okay. A high event. All right, yeah, like I said, bear with me. I am shuffling. And this is, yes, it is all alleged, okay? So please do not come for me. Knight of Swords. Okay. Ten of Wands in reverse. I'm like, I don't know if you guys can hear a baby crying in the background, but I'm like, somebody come get that baby. Okay. Queen of Cups. So very interesting already. So I have here the shadow side, and just take a look at this picture and look at that. Like there's something really, scary and daunting in the background, and somebody here is just pretty much hiding from, from that. Okay. We're going to go a lot into the visual aspects of these cards. And that's exactly why I decided to work with this deck, because I felt like, well, maybe I can pull more from this than the actual traditional tarot, okay? But just, that's the very first card out. So this tells me that there was a lot of fear, okay? And so what I'm also noticing here is that there's two significant people that have already been pointed out, okay? And what's also even more significant is that the little boy is taking responsibility for, his ways and his actions that led him to the situation that he found himself in, okay? because the death here is in the reverse. So this is basically saying like, I did not want to die, and I did not want this to be like the way that I wanted to go. Okay. But also with the Page of Wands, the Page of Swords, he's usually a very, you know, a thrill-seeking type, you know, very adventurous, and, you know, will do things without really thinking them through, and then sometimes they find themselves in particular situations. So that is describing just like the innocence of the child, okay? So just kind of being curious, going out there and discovering, but not really being too cautious of like the real dangers ahead. Now, what I don't like though is that there is a male figure here there is a male that is right next to him, which is this Knight of Swords here. And this person is very manipulative. Okay, so there was something, I don't know if this person may have said something to him to kind of get, you know, to gain his trust. But this person was very misleading, and that's what I'm feeling like. I'm feeling like there was like a fear that started at first. Like, I don't know if somebody got lost and then found their way to this person, and then this person pretty much like kind of took over. Okay. Now what's very interesting here is that we have a woman here. Okay. And she's just as completely lost herself. Also very manipulative as well. Okay. So that's what I'm getting here. There's two people, and then we have, you know, the innocence of the child, right? Let me keep going. It almost feels like the female herself did not want him to die either. There was something about the female that she did not want this little boy to die. We're going to explore more of that connection, but there was something weird. There was this weird connection to this child, okay? 8 of Cups in the reverse. Okay, so these two people, whoever did this to him, this wasn't like initially how it was supposed to go down, okay? But by the time that it got to the level that it did, it was already too late. Does that make sense? Like, it was like, fuck it, there's no going back. We're here now. You know what I mean? And so many times they wanted to, like, you know, pretty much get themselves out of the situation by doing the right thing. But then it was just like, no, the repercussions they knew would be far worse. So instead what they did is they hid. So the devil also, you know, clarifies their personal feelings, their personal fears of, you know, what would happen to them if, you know, somebody were to find out, you know, that they actually took this boy. Okay. Ooh. The Emperor. I don't know if the female has a connection with the father, or maybe she knew of the father. There was something to do with the father figure here. And I'm talking about, it looks like the boy's father. And he was the one who was just very, who was not willing to walk away from this situation here. Because my Emperor went in the reverse. So it's like, I will, you know, work day and night to find out what it is that happened to my boy. And then this could even talk about, like, you know, a reward. And then also the Emperor does talk about, like, you know, somebody, hey, if I get a hold of you, I'm not going to show you any fucking mercy. So, you know, so this female also knew that very much, that if she was to, you know, pretty much turn herself in, that, you know, the Emperor would not have any type of mercy for her. All right. But it looks like the father was impacted the most. And he was wanting his family to come back together. Okay. Let me keep going. And like I said, there might be that strong connection, or there might be a connection there between that woman and this man. Not to say that they like know each other, but I feel like she knew of him somehow, some way. I don't know how, but you know, he pretty much landed on top of her. So anytime I get people who land on top of each other, it's like there's some type of connection there. Okay. Nine of Cups. Three of Wands. So the energy looks like somebody here with the Seven of Wands, like they were willing to do whatever it is that needed to be done in order, you know, for to find their son. But what's very interesting here is that these people went far and like above and beyond to pretty much cover their trails. There were people that were kind of sniffing around them, if you will, you know what I mean? People that were kind of catching on, but these people were almost clever enough to pretty much like elude them, okay? And every time that they did, there's the arrogance there. Like they were like pretty much, they had the feeling like I got away with it type of shit. Excuse me. So there was that cockiness, almost like we got away with it and we're not getting caught. And they knew that everyone was pretty much far off in terms of details, in terms of, you know, where the body was or anything like that. They knew that like pretty much the trail was cold. So there was nothing that would really lead back to them. So there was that smugness to them, which again, I don't like. Shit. Here we go. Look at this. Look at that. A woman and a man, the lovers. The Three of Wands is here, so this can talk about a lot of information that was given that was just very incorrect information, or also information that was just that pretty much had no substance. So imagine like receiving a bunch of different tips and stuff like that, but really like nothing leads anywhere type of thing, and it just causes more and more of a delay. And so they knew, and also they knew exactly where it is that they stored put the body, because that the Hermit is here. But again, they were like, man, they are so far off. This won't, we won't have to worry. Bear with me, people. Let's keep going. Oh, those two had a fight, huh? So, okay. So I'm like, okay, all of a sudden the consciousness is kicking in. Those two would fight because somebody here could not live with that anymore. Okay, and they wanted to do what was right, but they just didn't know how to do what was right, because again, this would lead to, a lot of different things for them. So those two would fight like cats and dogs, and it's almost an energy of like holding information, like holding a piece of information on that person. So if they were to come out and say anything, they pretty much, had receipts on each other. Okay. Interesting. I'm just going to keep that over here. I want to get more into that female just to see more. And also the male. Okay. Two again, two, two, two. Okay, that's pretty much. Just give me a moment. I'm very drawn to a certain card here, which is the Ten of Swords. If you'll take a look at that. The owl is calling me, and I don't know why. Like, I can't stop staring at it. Like, what is that in the background? Anytime I get like the Ten of Swords, and look, there goes water. Look at this, very significant too, water. And, you know, look at this, more water. And whenever I get the Ten of Swords, it's always like very indicative that somebody was murdered. And the reason that I'm very drawn to that owl is because I feel like, you know, like if these woods could talk, if only these woods could talk, right? And the owl is somebody who knows, who may know some type of information. Like there may be that one glimpse of hope is what I'm seeing there. But then we have again here, these two are in cahoots. Now, what's very interesting to me is that these two are pretty much have made a pact within themselves. So I know that they had those moments where they would bicker back and forth and wanting to do the right thing, but wouldn't really fully do it. These two made a pact. Okay. Now, what's very interesting though, is that these two, when they cross over to the other side, because the karma's in the reverse, this tells me that there will be judgment. And it won't be good judgment, okay? And I don't want to get too much into the spiritual, like, you know, what happens, you know, who goes where, what goes where. But just know that these two will be judged on the other side. And like I said, it's not going to be pretty. And like I always tell people too, you know, sometimes a lot of things that are done here in the physical realm are, you know, they're easier to, I guess, get away with. But once you pass on, you can't get away from that. You know, there's no running from it. Okay. All right. So let's pull from my deck here, If Victims Could Speak, see what type of information we get. So all I can see is murder. Two people so far, a woman and a man, and a sweet, innocent child who just looked like he was just, you know, full of energy. Thrill seeking. Okay, sorry. I'm like these I'm telling you, this this deck of cards here, but it pretty much it does the job. All right, what can you tell me here? Very interesting. Aunt. What can you tell me, Spirit, for Jaryd? What are some messages that you have? What are some messages for Jaryd, Spirit? Sorry. What other messages do you have? I keep seeing a certain card, and I'm like, usually when I see these cards, they want to come out. So we'll see if that one does. Okay, we're gonna get a few more and then we're gonna go over them. See, I keep seeing this one. It's betrayed by family. I don't know what that means. That's crazy. Okay. My body will be found. All right, molested. Okay, I think I will stop here. So I have here aunt. I'm not saying that this was Jaryd's aunt. I'm not saying that, you know. But this person, that female, she could be an aunt now, by now, okay? Then the second card that came out was homicide, okay? Third one that came out was colored eyes. So these people do in fact have colored eyes, or at least one of them does, okay? Third one was, remember what I said, him taking responsibility in the very beginning, my own fault. So this is like the soul taking responsibility, saying, hey, like I take that, but I don't, you know what I mean? Like for getting into the predicament, but not taking responsibility for those people's actions. Okay, two different things. Guilty. All right, obviously these two people are guilty. Then we had that betrayed by family. I don't know what that means. On vacation here, on vacation. We got murder, all right? Then we have here, my body will be found. We got molested. I have here spiritual leader. Spiritual leader. And then we have here boyfriend. Okay, boyfriend. And then it says here, last one. It says, well, second to last. I miss you. I miss you. Oh. And I thought this was very significant. Light hair. Light hair. So it's giving a good description there. I'm like, and the reason like I kind of paused right there was because the next card that was underneath that was premeditated. Premeditated. Very interesting. So let me see. I wanted to look more into this female. Who is she? Let's see here. Tell me about this Queen of Cups. What's very interesting is that this female has had a few miscarriages herself. Okay, so it looks like she would get pregnant and then would not be able to fully carry the child. So it looks like there was one pregnancy and then maybe there's possibly 2 pregnancies, and she could not fully carry is what it looks like. Well, at least a full term. Let's see here. And tell me about this Knight of Swords here. Tell me about this Knight of Swords. Coward. Sorry, the Strength card came out in the reverse. Coward. Tell me about... Well, he's got, either it's already happened to him, but he's definitely got some bad things that are coming to him. And it looks like he's very sneaky. I don't say that this person has passed just yet. And 7 of Swords here is like this person is still out there, and there's also this energy with him that that he tends to elude people and tends to trick people. So just be very careful about who you let, around your children. Obviously, you never really know somebody. And especially if this person is able to kind of, fool people. So I just see the male continuing to do it. With her, it just seemed a little bit different. I don't know. There's something about miscarriages there and not being able to carry. And then with him, he may be involved in a lot of different things. Okay, I'm talking, jail, drugs, stealing, like, lying, cheating, all the kinds of things. And then not only that, but like really leading people on. So I wouldn't be surprised if this person has, more, has done this to more children. Okay. Alrighty. Well, that was my reading. I hope you guys enjoyed it. All right. Thanks for watching.